My name is Georgette Witherspoon, and I am an administrative assistant for the Information Technology Department. I previously was a returning student after 20 years. It was my third attempt, and I did graduate in December with my associate's degree in business administration.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you.
Who in your life has inspired you as a woman?
Of course, the top of my list is my mother, who was a single mother. I was her eldest child of 4, and she did everything she could to provide for us. And she passed recently, but she spent her whole life working hard and working through her own trauma that she went through as a child and as an adult to try to give us everything that she could. And one very near and dear person to my heart is my aunt. That was my mother's sister. She's been by my side since I was a little girl. Anything that my mother couldn't really provide for me, she did. And she taught me how to be strong-willed, and determined. And she just gave me the harder side of life. She taught me how to be a little bit more callous. She showed me sides of myself that I didn't realize I was capable of having, and it really played a big part in my adult life.
She's still in town?
My aunt doesn't live in town, but she has before, and I'm very close to her. I keep in contact with her quite often, and we're very close.
Would you be willing to share a personal experience or a struggle that you may have come across in your life?
I experienced homelessness. As a child, I went through food insecurity, poverty. Being the eldest of a single parent, it was hard to make ends meet. So we did learn how to be frugal at a very young age. And it was not really something negative. It really taught me to be appreciative of everything that I've come across, going forward. However, it did impact my life. I did mention that I graduated in December of last year. However, I was turning 40 years old. There was a 20-year gap between my education, which is something I always wanted to do. So through those experiences, through those trials, through those challenges, I grew enough to never give up and just come back and continue what I wanted to do as a person, and that was to continue my education. So at a very young age, I knew I needed to work. I was a hard worker. I was in the food industry because of my mother. She taught me how to make food when I was a little girl, and she always said, if you know how to cook for somebody, you'll never be broke. So I took that. I took that in full swing, and I entered the food industry when I was 16 years old, and I didn't leave until 2019. And my exit from the food industry was because of my mother's sickness. So then is when I decided that I would continue my education and I would go forward with an administrative position somewhere. Now, I did not know it was going to be at ENMU-R, which I'm very grateful for.
We're grateful to have you.
Oh, thank you.
This is kind of off topic, but what would you say your favorite maybe dish that your mom taught you, or something that's been your favorite to cook?
Red enchiladas. That was my favorite growing up. I can actually remember on Sundays she would make a big meal when we weren't providing food for others, and she made the best red chili. And enchiladas were my favorite with an egg on top. After my mother passed, I lost my niche, I guess, was in the kitchen, and I kind of lost my pizzazz there for a little while. It's coming back though, totally coming back.
Can you share some advice or piece of wisdom that you'd like to give to young women?
Yes, including my daughters, I have to. And I always tell them, challenges and background don't define us. The mindset that you go into challenges with is what factors into how the outcome is going to be. It's never too late to surround yourself by positive if all you've ever experienced is negative. And there will be a positive outcome. Nothing worth doing is easy. So just always embrace the storms because they will inspire your growth.